Are we live? Are we live? Are we human or are we live? Well, Neil doesn't look very alive. Right. Hopefully. Right. Give us some sign that you can actually see this.
Oh, you mean I've got to find?
No, you've got to. No, I'm not talking about you, right? Is that kind of. I wonder if you should move it onto the table, actually.
It's okay.
Come on, give us a thumbs up.
What are you watching?
Damn it. Well, it says live.
Yeah, but
And my channel
there's nobody watching.
My channel is extremely popular, I'll have you know. Right. Hey, so is that you?
No, it's not me.
Right. Move that there.
Who's that ugly cunt?
That'll be you then, is it? Oh, I don't think I've ever used the C word in my channel, but that's the first.
Paper boy.
Bloody hell. Right, I'm just going to wait for a few people to hopefully join in. We're just going to try and get this so we can see. I don't know if we'll see. No, we're not going to see comments. We're only going to see comments on this. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Who have we got in tonight? Hey. Right, let's go into that.
You 57. You old fart.
I thought I was actually. I was actually telling people that I was 58, and then
What the?
I don't know why I've got Egyptian on my thing. Right, Mainmeister. Right, there we go. Why is that? All right, there we go. Oh, that's a scary looking thing. Right, the picture looks shit, but not to worry. Right, we appear to. Good evening, Ox. Good evening, Steve. Right, we appear to. Good evening, Ox. I can turn down the sound. I don't know why. Do we really need it on the TV? Not really. We're not actually gaining anything because you can't see the comments. We'll just turn the telly off.
You not go to live channels and not show if you don't make it full screen or something.
No, I don't know. Does anybody know if you can get the comments if you're streaming that to a TV? I don't think you can. Oh, fuck it. Let's turn the TV off. There's no reason to have it. Sorry for... all right, there you go. Well, that's something as well. Right. Yes. What was I going to say? Yeah, we had to figure out. I was going to use my phone to record, and then we had that sellotaped onto the top of the webcam, not the webcam, the tripod thing. But if you do a live stream with a phone, it's got to be, you've got to have it that way. Like YouTube app does not work that way. So you've got to type in all the bollocks into that. But then if you flip it over, it would mean that you'd have to turn your TV on the side. So we decided just to use the laptop. So anyway, this video has been a long time coming. I thought
we first started when you lived down in the old house.
I was only that size. Yeah, no, we did actually record. We did actually record this not as a live. We did the first half of this. I reckon it must have been 2 years ago.
At least.
Easily 2 years ago. And then of course we were planning to then finish it. But it'd been that long since we'd done the first part, we couldn't even remember what we're talking about.
The continuity would have gone to.
Would they? Yeah, I'd have a t-shirt, I'd look fatter or thinner, and you'd have a bit more hair and whatever it is. So yeah, we thought we'll just do it from scratch. So anyway, yeah, welcome. The plan is we have made a list of 16, I don't know, 16, I'm going to say 16 computers. We've racked our brains and we've tried to come up with the sort of the most, I wouldn't say popular, we tried to come up with a list of all the sort of available 8-bit machines that came out back in the day. I'll just quickly run through the list. We've got the Acorn Electron, to make it interesting, I'll read the first one, you read the second one.
Okay.
Acorn Electron,
Acorn BBC Model B.
Amstrad CPC 464,
Apple 2.
Partick Thistle 0,
Well,
Atari 400,
Atari 800.
Computers Lynx,
Oh, money. Color Genie.
Commodore VIC 20,
Commodore 64.
Commodore Plus 4,
Commodore C16.
Dragon 32,
Jupiter Ace.
MSX,
New Brain.
Auric,
Auric Atmos.
Sinclair ZX81,
Best computer ever. Sinclair Spectrum 48K.
Sword M5,
Tatung Einstein.
and Texas TI-994A. So there we go. I don't want any nonsense about, oh, you've missed off this some obscure thing. We've tried to do as much as we can. Now, what we've done is we've come up with a series of categories. You can do the second one. Graphics,
Sound.
keyboard,
Aesthetics.
speed,
RAM.
games,
Price.
expandability,
Rarity.
and how you're doing coolness. So there we go. These are all the we're going to rate them out. Are we going to rate them out of 10, do you think?
10, yeah, why not?
Yeah, because far too many are going to be like a 3 out of 5, whatever. So we're going to rate them. Some of these we're going to have to just use our knowledge. I mean, some of these computers I've never seen in my life.
Someone's going to have to guess.
Yeah, but we do have some factual sheets. There we go, taken from Wikipedia, so it obviously is true. And we've also got the excerpts from the home computer course that came out years ago, which gives you an indication. So anyway, in no particular order, we're going to start the very first one that begins with A. Let's have a look at the Acorn Electron. I'll tell you what we'll do is, just before we actually get into the meat and bones about it, have you got any knowledge? Did your pals have an Electron? Or?
One of my mates had an Electron. It was basically just a cut down BBC, wasn't it?
I think it was. Well, there you go. The Acorn Electron was introduced as a lower cost alternative to the BBC Micro educational home computer, also developed by Acorn Computers. So yeah, it was, as you've said, it was a cut down.
Didn't they have hundreds of thousands in a warehouse they couldn't sell or something? That's why.
I think you might be right. I think that was the case actually. Yeah, because I did watch. Did I watch a program about Acorn? And yeah, they did. They kind of went to the wall and just I think that probably happened. They're probably somewhere in a desert. They're probably somewhere on a beach in Portobello Beach or something. If we dig, we'll find them. So before we start rating it, Ian, a mutual friend of ours, he had an Acorn Electron, and I think when I first knew Ian, that was the computer he had. And bear in mind, he'd actually upgraded to the Electron from an Auric. Now, whether that is an upgrade is debatable, but he did have a rather spanking spreadsheet expansion thing, and he then went on to show me how to
make a spreadsheet.
How to make a spreadsheet, and we fell out shortly after. But anyway, so right, let's have a look. It came out in 1983. It said 41 years ago. That was whenever that would be. That's 42 years ago. The CPU, a Cinertec
SY65. Oh, it's a 6502.
It runs at a whopping 2 megahertz when accessing ROM and 1 megahertz when accessing RAM. The graphics,
Ferranti
semiconductor. Yeah, it came out in £199,
which is worth apparently then it was about 800 quid.
I think what we see when we're basing these, I think we need the price. We need to base it on how much that was back in 1980, whenever it came out, 1983. We need to kind of do it like that. So anyway, right. The graphics, I know we're having to kind of wing this. The graphics, now bear in mind, I think we have to try and get it level. A 10 out of 10 is going to be the best graphics ever.
Yeah.
The ZX81, sorry folks, the ZX81 is probably going to be like a 1 or a 2. So what are you thinking? I mean, I've played a few games on the graphics. I'm going to go first actually.
Yeah.
Graphics, I'm going to probably give it. In fact, no, I'm going to keep it. Should we now? Yeah, we'll tell. I will say what we're going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 5 as well, because basically it didn't have all the modes of the BBC B.
Yeah. Sound.
I think it had 3 channels like everybody else, didn't it?
Did it? I'm not 100% sure. Does it even tone and noise generation? It says there. I don't know what the sound was. It's not. It's definitely not the SID chip. So I'm going to probably give it. I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a 5.
I'm going to go for a 4.
The keyboard, I actually got 2 of these.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of these upstairs.
It's quite a nice keyboard.
It has got a nice keyboard, so I'm probably going to give it. We're not going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it an 8.
Hey.
A cheeky 8.
I was going to give it a 7.
You fill your boots.
Mm-hmm.
Aesthetics. I mean, it was kind of creamy coloured. Nothing to write home
Had some
about.
fancy lines on it, didn't it? It was green or blue.
Did it?
It was very 80s.
Yeah. I mean, there's a picture of it there, folks. There's the Electron. I'll let you pick. Right, you can do the next
6.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go for a 6 as well.
Speed. I can't really remember.
What I do know is when I've been playing stuff like Green Beret and what have you, it's very slow and it glitches all over the place. So I'm going to go for that because I've got maybe a bit more knowledge. Well, the speed. So I'm going to give it a 5. I think.
Yeah. RAM 32K at the time was good.
32, aye, that's more. Well, I was going to say more than the Spectrum. Yeah. So
8.
I'm going to give it a 7. Games. Again, I think it's fair to say the Spectrum's going to have the most games. But I'll tell you what, I think we
couldn't play a lot of BBC games, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. How are we going to do this? Are we going to do how good the games were and how many they were? So overall, so you're kind of saying, well, there's 10,000 games, so it's going to get a 10 out of 10, but the games are all shit, so it's going to get a.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, there was a lot. They weren't great.
Price.
I'm going to give it slightly. I'm going to go for a 6. Price £199 now. The Spectrum, I think, was about 150 quid.
129 for 16K, 169 for 48K, if I remember correctly.
Is it? So it wasn't the cheap. It wasn't ZX81 cheap. But it's not Commodore 64 BBC dear. I'm going to go for a 7, I think.
I'm going to go for 8.
Expandability. If it's anything like...
It was really cut down from the BBC.
Aye.
So I don't think you could expand it that much.
You could... I'm assuming you could... Yeah, you could have a disk drive, I would imagine. Does anybody know? Could you attach a disk drive to it? I think you're right. I think it was almost like it was a seriously cut down. Mm-hmm. Ian did have his spreadsheet add-on to it, so that gets an extra point.
4. 5. I'm going for.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing special.
You could get well. Wait a minute. You could have it plugged into a TV. You could have a tape deck. I presume you could have a disk drive. I'm going to go 5. I think. Rarity. I've got 2 upstairs in the thing, so
2.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3. And coolness, no, it's
5.
Whoa, I think I'm going to. Was it cool to have an Electron? Not really. Cooler than having a BBC.
No, BBC, you were cool.
No, nah.
When you had too much money.
Spectrum, they're the cool kids. I'm going to go a 4. Okay, right. Sticking with this is going to be easier. Sticking with Acorn, we're going to move on to we'll go into BBC B, which was, am I right in thinking that was the machine that all the schools had?
Yeah,
I think it was.
They had the BBC A as a cut down version for homes, but it never sold. That's why they brought the Electron out. So
Aye, yeah, it's more
I think
affordable.
BBC only had 16K, didn't it?
I'm not too sure. I think the BBC had 32, and then you had the Master, which had 128. So,
but the graphics were a lot better on the BBC.
Aye, they were good. I mean, a different res. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff like Frack was really high res. So, I mean, colour wise, I don't know how many colours it had.
It depends on. It was a trade off between the modes.
The higher res, the less colours. I'm going to say, what are you going for?
Going for 7.
I was going to say 7 as well. I was going to say that before you wrote that. Sound, was that similar to the? Did that have the same as the Electron?
I think so. I'm not too sure.
3 channels.
But I'm just going to go 4 again. So I don't remember it outstanding with sound.
No, it was kind of beeps. Yeah. Okay.
I really like the keyboard.
The keyboard was great.
It was so it's a 9.
I'm giving it a 9 as well. Aesthetics, it just screamed school computer.
Like my mister. I'm going to go for 7. It looked good, and you turned it upside down.
Yeah, of course, it was designed to have the monitor sitting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It was designed for that. So I think I'm going to go 6.5. We can use halves. Speed. Well, I'm going to say like Elite. That's if you're going to play Elite. So the speed was.
Hello.
It was.
Frank.
Hi Frank, how you doing, buddy?
Never met the bloke. So.
No, I've not met Frank either, but I've met him on streams. Speeds. Again, I can only go by like vector games, so I would presume. In fact, where am I? Hang on a second. Hang on, cotton picking second. We have got some fact sheets here. Right, there it is. BBC Micro. You can read out the factoids.
Connects to cassette, TV, monitor, disk drive, press still, e-connect, other BBC Micro C facts and joysticks. Disadvantages: limited colour capacity, weak sounds when not amplified, manuals difficult to understand. Something versatile machine uses upgrade powerful computing tool.
It doesn't tell you very much, does it?
No.
It tells you hee-haw, in other words. Like, I'm going to speed. I'm going to go. I don't remember people going, "Oh, it's mega powerful,"
but it could do a lot.
It could do, things like Elite and what was that driving one? I can't even remember the revs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go for an 8.
Oh, you got an ad. Right.
Oh, that's Mr. Connolly. Mr. Connolly is popping up on my channel. RAM, I think it could be expanded beyond. Well, we're talking about the.
Oh, it said the 32, expandable to 32K. It says the basic one. So.
Right, so I think 32 was.
But I'm pretty sure you could.
Hang on. There we go. So RAM, I think. Well, we gave the Electron a 7 for 32, or I gave it a 7, so I'm going to stick with that. Games, there was a lot of games.
Yeah.
Not Commodore 64 Spectrum games, but I guess 7. Price, that was hefty.
400 quid.
It's going to get a 2, I think.
But for what you got, it was good.
Yeah, but how many people could actually afford it? Expandability, it's got to get a 10 in it.
Yeah.
It has to be. It was the most expandable one. Rarity, not rare.
I remember walking out of university once. There was a skip full of.
I
wish I had that.
So rarity, I'm going to go to. Yeah, I think so. Coolness. It depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to your geography teacher, he'd probably think you were pretty cool having a BBC. I thought it was no. I'm going to give it a 3. Okay. Right, I'll let you discuss the next one, which is the Amstrad CPC, and I have printed off a fact sheet somewhere. If I can find it, it doesn't tell you what's right. You can talk about the Amstrad CPC 464.
I wanted one of them. I tried to sell my computer at the time to buy one, but nobody would supply it, unfortunately. Zilog Z80s. Oh, could you run CPM on a Amstrad? Anyway, this was famous because it came with the monitor.
Yeah,
Or should I say a
two flips.
TV with all the tuner gubbins taken out in typical fucking Amstrad cheapo style. Z80 third gen.
That's fast. 4 megahertz.
Oh, standard, I think.
Well, like the Commodore was that not even like
Different processor.
Ah, right.
That's like
So that had the same as the Spectrum.
Yeah. 6845 or compatible custom gate array keyboard. Keyboard was decent. Anyway, graphics. I never played around much with it.
I've got. Well, I'm talking from experience because I've obviously played more Amstrad games than you. The graphics, when done properly, were astonishing. The Commodore 64 couldn't compete. So I'm going to give that an 8. The graphics were very, very good when done properly. Sound again is a 3-channel doohickey, and in the right hands, I've heard like some Rob Hubbard stuff on the Amstrad, and it is impressive. Again, not Sid impressive, but what are you going to give it? I'm going to give it a 7.
I'll give it a 6. Keyboard. It's a nice keyboard, but not the best. So I think a 7 for the keyboard, same as the Highlight.
What did I give it? I give it an 8. I'm going to go for a 7. I'm going to just one under. Yeah. Aesthetics. I think it looked quite cool actually.
The 80s, yeah.
Yeah. The fact that it was like
and you had different coloured keys as well.
So yeah, because I don't know. It kind of looked like a Commodore 64 looked like a computer. The Amstrad looked like just a big keyboard.
Yeah.
It was because it was stretched kind of thing. It looked like a keyboard. I quite like that actually.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give that a 7.
Speed.
Again, I think the speed of it was the Z80, so I think, well, saying that, some of the games that I've seen in it are like, it's slow as hell.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it was the fastest computer in the world. I
don't
know.
I'm going to give it a 7.
I think I agree with you. RAM, what did it have? It had
6400128.
Oh yeah, the CPC, yeah. So that's going to get a 10. I don't think any other computer's going to have more than that, to be fair. So
games has got a fair library.
Oh yeah. It's just behind the Spectrum and Commodore 64, so that's going to get a 9 from me. Price. I think it was about. It was more expensive than a Spectrum, obviously, because you had the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't the cheapest, and probably that's why maybe it wasn't as successful, because you had to buy the screen. Whilst it was great getting the screen with it, it was an extra outlay. So I think it was maybe, I might be talking complete pish. I think it was maybe about 275, 300. I think it was an extra 50
depending
quid
whether
or
you got
something.
the colour screen or
the
greens.
The price was quite prohibitive. So I'm thinking it's going to get a 4. Yeah. The BBC got that. I'm going to go 3 actually.
Yeah.
Expandability.
I've absolutely no idea, so I'm just going to give it a 5.
What we're going to include in expandability was like plugging a joystick in. Could it take a joystick, whatever? Could you expand it beyond its? Other than joysticks, it had a built-in tape. I don't think, and again, people can flame away if we're talking shite, but I think I'm going to go for probably it's going to be low. It's going to be a 2 from me, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Rarity, they were pretty common.
Yeah,
they were pretty common.
2 for rarity.
I would take
coolness. They did look pretty cool, I think. So I'm going to give it a 6.
I'm thinking coolness and the playground sort of factor,
and because you got what you thought was a proper monitor with it as well. I always thought that was pretty cool.
Aye. Now you go for your score, but I'm just trying to think. if I was a kid back in '85 and I'm like, oh, I've got a Spectrum, oh, I've got an Amstrad, it's a 7 for me. This next one,
Apple II. We had one at school.
I used one at school. I've played a few games on it, so I can only go by really what I've played in it. Graphics, I think the graphics had weird purpley kind of colours. The palette was very kind of purpley, and there was always a bit of bleeding as well.
I've only played it on the Mister and with colour because ours had a green screen.
Yeah,
and playing Choplifter and green screen was absolutely brilliant. I loved that.
It looked like a proper old school kind of computer. Yeah, with it. Like you see in Mission Impossible, it was like the black screen with the green writing, whatever. So I'm trying to think graphics. I think it had quite. Did it not have similar graphics to like the Commodore 64 and the Atari?
But nowhere near as fast, I think.
And it had less bugger off antivirus pop-up graphics.
6.
I'm going to agree with you. Sound. I don't think the sound was that good in the Apple.
I think originally it was just beeps.
Yeah.
So it's getting a 3 for sound. Keyboard. It was a nice keyboard.
I can't remember. I've not used one in about 40 odd years. I mean, it was Apple, so it was premium. So was it? I'm going to take your advice on this one. Was it as good as the BBC, like Model B, or
I'm going
there or thereabouts?
Acorn Electron. I'm giving it a 7.
Aye. All right. I'm just going to go along with what you've said. The aesthetics, I quite liked it. It was pure. Yeah. It looked like a real. Yeah, it looked like a proper,
and it had
proper computer.
Forward and
it did. It was quite nice.
I'm giving it aesthetics. It looked nice.
I've written it as well. The speed, you reckon it wasn't the quickest?
It was standard for the time, wasn't it? So I'm giving it a 7 for speed as well. It kept up with.
Was it as fast as the Amstrad? I think it's slow. I'm going to go 5.5 actually.
Does it? Have you got?
No, we didn't. We've not got a factoid sheet for the Apple, unfortunately.
Alexa, what CPU did the Apple II use?
I would need to turn that on. Hang on. Hang a minute. No, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Right, go for it now. I just got the last CPU. Try again.
Alexa, pull my finger.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't.
Alexa, what CPU did the Apple II use?
From historycomputer.com. The Apple II's central processor unit was based on a MOS 6502 CPU.
Basically the same as the Commodore 64, the BBC, everything like that. So.
Aye. Right, RAM. Did that?
I think it 48K was.
So that was quite a decent amount of RAM.
Yeah. Well, the one I used
probably.
48K.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 7, I think. Games, there was. If you lived in America, chances are you had an Apple II, and there are quite literally hundreds of games for it. So there was a lot of games.
Based on what? Based on utter box.
Based on our minimum knowledge. So games, it did have a lot.
Some of them were good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, all the kind of classic games that you play in the Atari and the Commodore 64 were on the Apple. Price, I think that was mega.
Alexa, how much did an Apple II cost when new?
From macrumors.com. The Apple Watch Ultra 2 is Apple's most expensive
Alexa,
watch.
shut up.
I think it was like, was it not like 500-600 quid or something?
Yeah,
it's going to get a 1 from me.
Yeah.
Expandability.
You could expand it. Could you add ports in the back?
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
So it was.
I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah. Rarity. Well, certainly in the UK,
It was
they
pretty
were rare. So, I mean, I think we're kind of basing everything on what it was, and the rarity is what it is now, kind of thing. So, rarity now is there's not many. So, I'm going to give it a 9 actually. Coolness. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to have an Apple.
Yeah, nowadays. Back then you were.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays you'd be a Mac wanker.
Yeah. Coolness. Yeah, I think a 7. Okay. Hopefully you're enjoying this, folks. Yep. All we're doing is reading out numbers, but
The Apple II cost $1,000. Yeah.
Was it? Holy shit.
Price, can I take it down to 0?
Alexa talks pish, it does indeed. Yeah. Right, now on to the fun ones. Atari 400. Graphics. The graphics in the 400 they were probably kind of VIC 20 kind of graphics, I think. Wait a minute. Hang on, we do have a fact sheet. What does it say here? Right, the price was 150 quid. It was 16K. It was non-expandable. Bear that in mind. It connects to a cassette, TV, disk drive, printer, and joystick. Advantages: low cost, wide range of software. Disadvantages: touchpad, keyboard must be bought as an extra. Summary: touchpad, keyboard, and lack of built-in basic makes the machine best suited for games. The games were.
So
they were pretty.
Atari 2600.
It was kind of a cut down sort of thing. So I'm going to go for a 6. I think.
The graphics.
Graphics.
I'm going to follow you then. You're better.
Yeah, and again the sound. I'm not. The thing is, anytime you play an Atari game, you play it in Atari 800. I don't know what the sound ability was compared to the 800. I'm going to give it a 5. I'm just kind of winging that one a wee bit. Keyboard was dreadful. Not ZX81 dreadful.
Oh, it had raised bits. That was it.
Yeah, that was kind of, and it did kind of click down a wee bit. It didn't click, so it's I'm going to give it a 2. I'll save the 1 for later on.
Aesthetics.
Well, Frank, listen, mate. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. We could have done. We've tried to get our facts as best as possible, but it is a bit of fun, mate. I appreciate it might not be for you, but it is a bit of fun. Aesthetics. The Atari 400. It looked like a 1980s computer. Looked a bit like a spaceship. Quite unique.
I thought they looked quite cool, so I'm going to give it a 7.
Aesthetic. It did look a bit. It did. It's kind of unlike anything because it had the big kind of raised part. So yeah, I'm going to go for an 8 actually. The speed, I think it's pretty slow. Mm-hmm. I don't think it certainly wasn't as fast as the 800. So
Alexa, what CPU did an Atari 400 have?
From Intel.com. It included a central processing unit, CPU, chip, the 4004, as well as a supporting read-only memory,
ROM, tell you much, does it?
Chip for the custom applications program.
Alexa, stop.
Right, speed. Well, again, we're just basing it on. All I can base this on is how good games are in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 6. RAM, it only had 16K, which did hold it back. So a lot of the games, obviously, were kind of cut down. So RAM 4, yeah.
Games.
Steve reckons we should stop using Alexa and it's all like fish. Totally agree with that. Games, again, there were a lot of games for it back in the day, not as many as the C64 or Atari. I think I think for games, it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 7. The price, £150. I mean, bear in mind, let's have a look. What was the Spectrum?
I'm sure it was more than that when
Well,
it came out.
well, this thing here came out in 1983. So it was certainly one of the more affordable ones. Yeah, the price, it was pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7. Expandability, other than
joystick and everything like that.
Well, you could to be fair, you could plug in a disk drive.
On the 400.
Yeah. You could a disk drive, printer, joystick. You could. I don't think you could plug in a modem or anything. So expandability is probably a 6.5. I think. Rarity, they are pretty rare.
Yeah,
rare. So that's going to get quite a high one. I think that's going to get a 7 for me. Coolness, I think. I like it. I think it's a cool machine, but you pick. I think it's quite a cool machine because anything Atari is always going to be quite cool. I'm going to go for a 7.5. I think it's a
good for 7.
Yeah,
I've used no halves.
No halves at all. Right, the Atari 800.
You've got one, and you keep going on about it.
I did have one. It's. I think I think one sprite could be a multicolour. Most games that you play, the main character is like multicolour. The other baddies are usually monotone or single colour. It does have a really large palette, so like lots of greys. So like some of the games like they look beautiful. So I'm going to give it. Graphics is a good. I'm going to give that an 8.5. I think.
Sound
again, it's not as good as the SID, but it could make some good noise. Good. It's got really. I think the Ataris had good like sound chips for like explosions and all. Even like the 2600, the Atari 2600, that could make some really good sound. So I think that was quite good. I'm going to give it a 7. Keyboard. I love the keyboard.
I remember using it. It was always nice. So.
It's a great keyboard. Yeah, I'm going to give that a 9.
Aesthetics. I always like the look of it.
I think it's really cool looking,
especially when you opened it up.
Well, I call
steel inside.
I called it the tank. I think it's a wicked look.
It looks business-like.
Yeah, aesthetics. I think I'm going to give it a 9.
Speed.
Well, put it this way: when it came to things like Rescue and Fractalis, and it was doing like real-time fractals, it was a lot quicker and smoother than the C64, which wasn't particularly, obviously no, C64 wasn't a fast computer. So I think the speed was, I think that's up there. I'm going to give that an 8.
48k RAM. I think I'm going to give that a.
Yeah, it's got it. What was that? Or RAM? I think
games
7. Hundreds of games. All right, again in the UK, they stopped making games for the 800 probably about 1985 or that, but there are thousands of games, so that's going to get a 9 from me.
200 quid.
It was
300 quid. Sorry,
it was expensive. Yeah. It was. I mean, well, let's just compare it. But yeah, the Commodore 6. I think it's quite funny how the Atari 800 is 300. The Commodore 64 is 299. It was expensive again, not BBC expensive, but it's going to be 5, I think. Expandability. I think you could expand because it was essentially brought out as a business machine, wasn't it? So I'm thinking we expandability. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. I think there's a lot of peripherals.
Rarity. I've not seen one for years.
there's well, I sold mine because I quite simply never used it. But it is rare. It is very, very rare. So I think it's going to be. I would say it's even rarer. In fact, it is rarer than the Atari 400. If you go on eBay, you might see one or two. I'm going to go for an 8.5. I think.
Coolness. I'm going to go for straight 7.
I'm going to go for a 9. I think that's a cool computer. Right, this one I'm going to have to leave it up to you because I'll let you talk about this one because you had one.
I've got one.
So you've still got one.
You've been meaning. I've been meaning to.
You have to bring that down. We're going to do an overview thing of it. So I'll let you. You better tell folks what we're talking about.
Computers Lynx. Nobody guffawing with laughter.
You need to there's a 20-second delay, so yeah, you'll get that. I'm going to just whatever you write. I'm going to write.
Graphics were absolutely excellent but slow.
So the graphics and then speed. So
yeah, the graphics on its own because every pixel was individually coloured. It was 256 by 256. Or if you had a 128K version, it was 512 by 256. It was phenomenal for the time. So graphics, I'm giving it a 9. Okay. That doesn't take into account speed, though. Sound, single voice, speaker in the thing, 1.
Really? Was it?
Oh, 2.
Bear in mind,
no,
we're not on the spectrum yet.
Actually, I'm going for 3 because you could map the sound straight through to memory. You could actually do speech synthesis in software. So 3. But it was single voice.
Yeah.
Keyboard. I love the keyboard. It was absolutely beautiful to type on mechanical keyboard. I'm giving it a 9. Aesthetics.
Was it kind of charcoaly, kind of brown?
That was great.
Was it grey? Aye. So it was very, very business-like, but
yeah,
quite cool.
Aesthetics. It looked the part, so I'm giving it a 8. Speed.
You did say it was very slow, didn't you?
The doing the graphics was slow, and depending how you use the maths function, because in BASIC everything was a floating point number, so you could have like line numbers in BASIC 10.6. But if you went into integer mode, it was decently fast. So I'm going to give it a 7. RAM, BASIC was 48K. I've got the 96K and a bit of bias, not at all. You could get up to 128K. They had a 256, but they went bust before the 256 was released. So RAM, I'm going to give it a...
I'm going to say here and now, if this video doesn't have the most dislikes of any other video, I will eat my hat for a second time. What we're going for, RAM? 9. Okay.
Even though it was banked page leave.
Yeah. Now I can honestly say I have never seen a Computer Lynx game ever. So, but
you have at the club.
Like okay, 1, but I never saw any back in the day available.
For games, I'm giving it a 1. There were some good games out there, but compared to others, it just wasn't there. Price wasn't the cheapest. I'm giving it a 4. Expandability, you can have disk drives, printers, joysticks, light pen, add a RS232 parallel.
Yeah, that sounds kind of
audio ports. It was quite expandable. So I'm going to give it a 7.
The folks aren't happy, Neil. They're not happy about the bias being
because they never used one, did they?
No, I can't argue because I don't know. I've no idea. I've never seen one. So
rarity.
Rarity. Well, apart from the one in your loft, I've never seen one. I was going to get a pretty high score, I would think.
Okay, 1.
Rarity?
Yeah.
No, it's very
Oh,
rare.
10.
No, it's going to be a 10. Yeah. Extremely rare. I mean, I don't know anybody apart from you that's got one. Coolness.
Oh,
Oh,
I've got to be biased.
Well, you've been biased on every other bloody score, but anyway.
10.
Oh. Right, well, wait a minute. I've seen one. Is it cool to have a computer's links? I mean, yeah, you can see if you got a rare computer, it's cool. Cool.
Even though for that, I must have been at least 7, 8 years. I was following this look on eBay trying to flog one for 700 quid. I don't know if it.
I'm going to differ with that one. The coolness. I'm going to give it a 7.5. You can bring it down a wee bit. Right, do we...
But you gave the Atari 800.
Right, no, never mind that. Right. I'm just thinking, do we bother with the Colour Genie? Because I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about it.
It was basically a Dragon 32 in all but name. Well, the Dragon 32 was basically a Colour Genie in all but name.
Right. Okay. Well, let's read through the Colour Genie. It was £168. So let's see. Let's do price. So price 160. So that's going to be. I'm going to give that a 7. Memory, I had 32k. So that's going to get memory, RAM 32. So that's going to get a 7, I think. Non-expandable. It connects to the cassette, the TV, printer, monitor, hi-fi, joystick, plug-in cartridges. So
you got the standard stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. Well, I printer, monitor. So what was that expandability? Going to give that 6.5. What else? Let's see. That is it. Typewriter style keyboard, clear sound. I don't know what the keyboard's like in this. If it's like the Dragon, it's kind of similar to the Commodore 64. It's not. It's a fully moving keyboard, but it's not the greatest. So I'm going to base it on what the Dragon was. The Dragon was quite cheapy.
I don't think it was as good as the Dragon keyboard.
Well, maybe I'll take half a point off it. So I would give it probably 6.5. I'm going to give it a 5.5. No, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6 for the keyboard. Yeah. The aesthetics, well, you can see kind of very kind of similar to sort of.
It was an American design, and it was kind of didn't fit with the 80s UK computer design. So
kind of similar to sort of an Electron, I'm thinking. So yeah, aesthetics. I'm going to give it a 6. Right, sound. It did mention sound. The advantages, it says clear sound. I don't know quite what that means. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to give it a 6. I don't know what this sounds like. And disadvantages: comparatively slow, limited choice of software, poor graphics. Well, there you go. Poor graphics. I'm going to give it a 4. And speed, it did say it's slow. So it's going to get 5 from me. And games, I couldn't honestly. I'm not aware of any games.
I think
Colour Genie
the Dragon 32 games could run that.
You think?
Yeah, because it's basically the Dragon 32 is basically a Colour Genie.
I'm going to give it a 6.5. Rarity, I would say they're extremely rare. Maybe not
in
computer
the UK,
links.
yes.
Yeah, we're based in kind of in the UK. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Coolness, not very cool at all.
Nah, Colour Genie, nah. I think 6. Okay, right now talking of cool, we're on to the cool dude. the Commodore VIC-20. I mean, we're going to talk about have you ever seen any things? Did you ever own a VIC-20 at all?
Never owned one, but I've used them.
Aye.
And I'll never forget one of my mates when we had ZX81s. I spun him a tail that had a VIC-20, so he came round to see it. I couldn't stop laughing.
No, I mean, I got into computers after the VIC-20 had sort of stopped being a thing. And so I never really had any connection with it. I didn't have any nostalgia for it. People that I knew that had a VIC-20 raved about it, and having played some of the games in it, for its time, it was a cracking machine.
Well, at the time you were comparing it to a ZX81.
Yeah, and it was. But there's some games, like for example, Jeff Minter. If you speak to Jeff Minter, ask him what his favourite grid runner is. It's the VIC-20 grid runner. Jeff Minter did a game, I think it was Moose Life a few years ago, and he actually recorded the sounds of a VIC-20. Because the VIC-20, I would say, for sound effects, it is better than the Commodore 64. And there's a lot of games. The graphics aren't going to be that great. It's a bit more kind of limited, probably kind of late drawn style graphics. Anyway, so that's kind of what that was rough overview. So graphics for the VIC-20, I'm going to give it probably a 6. Sound, maybe not great for music, but for like sound effects, it is fucking awesome. I'm going to give it an 8. Wait a minute, I just need to be careful here. I can't score it above the Amstrad. I'm going to give it a 7. Keyboard, it was exactly the same as the Commodore 64.
Yeah, it was a nice.
I'm not.
Wasn't exactly the best, but
probably a 7, I think. Yeah. Aesthetics. Did it look nice?
At the time, it did.
Yeah, again, it screams early 80s. Aesthetics. I'm going to give it a 6.5. That's my kind of go-to score. Speed, I think it's never going to run.
Yeah.
You're not going to run some 3D polygon game in it, but for like arcade style games, it was great. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
3.5K.
Aye, we're basing it on what came out of the box, so it didn't have a lot of memory, so it's going to get quite a low score, I think. I'm thinking a 3. Games, there was a lot of games for it, so it's going to score pretty high. It's going to get an 8, I think, from me.
Yep.
Price, what did the VIC-20 cost? It wasn't an awful lot of money, £130, and that included extras, it says. Well, that's a standard memory, 5K. It's not going to get any more score.
1.5 was used for the screen.
Oh, right, okay. Price, it was pretty cheap. It was cheaper than even the Electron. So
I remember when it was, I think it was $299 at the time when the ZX81 was out.
Well, that was based on this was 1983, I think. So I'm going to give it an 8 for price. Expandability. Hello, Ego. How are you? The best 8-bit was the Amstrad CPC with colour screen, discussion, and stream over. Oh, you'll need to find, if you want to know the definitive answer. I don't know if Frank's still watching it, but he'll find out what was the best version. Yeah, this is the what we're looking for here. We're looking for the VIC-20. Is that there? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Right, what we're looking for again? Expandability. Right, it expands to things. Cassette, TV, monitor, disc drive, printer, joysticks. I guess kind of.
I think it could connect to all the stuff that
Commodore 64 could. I don't know if that could connect to modems and sound synthesizers. It's easy for me to say. Expandability. 7, I think. Yeah, 7. Rarity, I think they're pretty common. It's going to get a 4, I think. Coolness. I think the Vic 20
at the time it was the dog standard.
It was the one that everybody wanted to own, so it's going to get a 9 for me. Right, if you think you've seen bias, you ain't seen nothing yet. Fucking hell, the Commodore 64. 10. No, anyway. Graphics. Well, we need to base it, you know, there has to be, for the purpose of this, there needs to be between 1 and 10. And I'm going to take like a game like Iridium or like Wizzball or whatever. It was astonishing. The graphics were just incredible. Really, really were. You know, when you think of some of these games. So I'm going to give it a 9.5. I mean, I don't think there's anything going to beat it, if I'm being honest, but I'm going to give it a 9.5 for graphics. The sound, 10. Keyboard. Well, if Steve has just said 5 out of 10, too spongy. Yeah, I would agree with him. I'm going to give it more. Well, I gave the Vic 20. Now I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it the same as the Vic 20 because I think they were the same keyboards. Aesthetics.
I'm good at the same as the Vic 20.
Yeah, same thing, but different colour. The speed. I mean, when it came to do like arcade games, it was brilliant, but it couldn't do 3D for shit. Although we've later found out that it can do 3D, but not as well. So I think the speed for majority. If you think of the majority of games, you wouldn't go, this is running really slow. I'm going to give it an 8.5. RAM had 64K. That's going to be a. How much was the Amstrad again? The key-wise, that was 64. That was 64. Yeah. So that's going to get the same. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. Games, 10. No question. The price when it first came out was there $299. So it was quite a lot of money. So I'm going to give it a 4 because it was quite expensive. Expandability you could do. There wasn't much that it was. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Dale. But we're just basing it on what it was as opposed to when it came out. I think it looks wise, it kind of just looked the same. So I'm going to stick with the same score. Expandability, it was very expandable. So what did we give the BBC? I think maybe because the BBC it could connect to like a fucking what was it again? A tortoise? No, what was that thing?
Turtle.
A turtle that would walk around and draw squares and all that.
I remember. Was it the computer lab at school? The computer teacher, because we used to be in the computer club, shout us in. Oh, I've got a camera. And you could it was just black and white images, but images from a camera onto the computer and print out. That was mind-blowing.
That was cool. That was cool. So expandability is going to get a 9 for me. Rarity is going to be a 2. Coolness.
1.
Coolness for you. Cool. I'm in a Commodore 64.
I'm going to give it.
I think you pretty were. Yeah, I think you were pretty cool. I'm going to give it an 8.
I was we were expecting.
Yeah. Right. I think we should just lump. Well, no, we'll do them on their own thing, right? We might need a bit of help from Mr. Flanagan, the Commodore Plus 4 and C16. Now I have got a factoid sheet here. What we're looking at the Plus 4. Surprisingly, we've still got 13 people, considering how many people have probably upset.
Are we going to finish this tonight?
I know. Do we do it in 2 parts? I think we maybe do because I think people are going to get bored shitless. So 1, 2. How many have we got?
1, 2.
I'll let you count them.
We've done 10.
And how many have we got?
13.
So do we do another 2 more? We'll do the +4 and the C16 because they're kind of one and the same, I think. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And then we'll call it a night, and then we can resume for part 2. And then you'll be in tender
I
hooks.
didn't know you could get CPM on the Commodore 64 with the second CPU. Cool. I'm going to skin it up.
+4. Yeah, the +4 did have the.
Oh.
the +4 did have. Is it C? Oh no, I'm getting muddled up, Dale. I'm thinking of the we didn't include the 128 by the way, because that kind of came out a wee bit later. But yeah, we suppose we should have included it. But yeah, right. So the +4, I can only go by the games that I've seen. I've not seen anything. I know I'm going to upset Craig Flanagan. The +4. Well, what does it say here? Right, it came out in 1984. It ran the process. Well, let's do the processor first. There you go. What was it? Why is it got
7501 or 8501?
So why would it have 2? Why was that?
Depends which version you got.
Right. And it ran at
what supplies they had.
Yeah, it ran at 1.76.
Again, that doesn't really mean much. Depends on the actual CPU.
Yeah. So it came out in 1984 and it was discontinued in 1985. So that says it all about it. The graphics, is that higher than? No, that's the same as the C64, 320 by 200, I think. 121 colours. It's got a lot of colours. It was $299, which would be in Queen's English money. What would that be? I don't know, about 170 quid or something.
Yeah.
Memory 64, operating system, Commodore Basic. Right, we're just going to have to wing this one a wee bit like we've done with half of them. Commodore +4 graphics. I'm going to say it was probably. Craig, what was the difference between the +4 and the C16? Right, so it had the same. It ran at the same speed. It had. Yeah, it had the same resolution, I think. The price is different. It only had 16K. So yeah, I think it was almost the same, but it had less K. If I've got that wrong, then even in Nick, just the RAM +4 had crappy software. So am I right in thinking that the only difference between the two was the memory, really? Is that pretty much the case?
I think the speed of the CPU, so it's got variable speed control, which is, at the time, is impressive.
Yeah, memory. So that was pretty much it. So graphics, right, Craig. I tell you what, Craig, I'm going to ask for an unbiased. I'm going to do something. Yeah, I'm going to ask you. What would you say? Wait, don't take the piss. Where would you say the? I mean, you've played the games more than I have. Where would you say the graphics compared to like the Commodore 64 based on games? I'll let you decide that. The sound as well, Craig. I think the sound, it didn't have. I don't know why they didn't put the SID chip in, but they never. +4 had a different keyboard. Yeah, it did. It looked quite smart actually. I'm assuming the keyboard. I think the C16 keyboard again was the same spongy. So Dale, was the keyboard a better keyboard, or was it the same sponginess as the C64? Right, well, let's do. Also, we're waiting for some feedback. Let's go for the speed then. So, what are you thinking, Neil, for the +4?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go for the +4.
I mean, I gave 8.5 for the C64.
I'm going to go for 8.
8, okay. Right, now Craig has given an unbiased opinion and said 7 out of 10 for graphics, so I'm going to go for that. And we'll give this, I think, Craig, the C16 was capable of the same graphics, right? What is Nick saying? Because he's a techno genius. For a still image, the Plus 4 can generate much nice pictures because of its palette, but for games, lack of hardware sprites meant it was harder to take advantage. Right, okay. So graphics, what have we? Yeah, we've done 7 out of 7. Although I think we might need to give the Plus 4 a different score because it's for like a static picture, it can display more. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. And the C16 I've given a 7.
That's exactly what I've given it as well.
Sound. What was the sound like? Keyboard, right? Craig has said that it's the same keyboard, same sponginess. So I'm going to give it. I think. Oh no, that's the aesthetics. So I'm going to give it the same. I'm going to give it a 7. Both a 7. Aesthetics, I quite like the look of the Plus 4. With its kind of fins and all that. It's kind of super cooling thing at the back. So I'm going to give that a 7, and I'm going to give the C16 a 6.5. So sound, how was the sound? The sound was poor. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate your honesty. Sound, I'm assuming the sound was the same in both. So what are we thinking? Are we going to say 5 poor? Yeah, we're not going to give it a 4.
Ram, which was that one.
So is the speed the same? Was the speed on the C16, was that the same? What other ones could be the RAM? So that had, what did that have? That had less.
64 and one's got
64. So the Plus 4 is going to get a decent. It's going to get a decent score. It's going to get.
I have no idea of the games. The games library of mine missed it. Doesn't look that big. So.
Aye. Right. So I'm going to give the RAM 10 for the Plus 4 because it's a good chunky memory, and I'm going to give the 16. So that's not very. I'm going to give it a 3 for 16K because probably, and that's the problem. I think a lot of the games they just ported it across. The Plus 4 got a port of the C16, and it was like 16K. So that's why a lot of the games were shit in the Plus 4 as well. So what the speed of the C16? What are we thinking? You reckon it's a bit slower than Neil?
Oh, it's compatible with the VIC 20. Sorry, the Commodore 64 CPU.
Right. Okay. But not as fast as the Plus 4. Right, I'm going to give that a 7. Games, there were tons of games. I never bought them, but Craig is. Yeah, I can verify that Craig knows all about his games. So I'm going to give that. I'm going to give it a 7.5, and they were basically the same. I think it was the same games that came out. The price. I don't know how much wait a minute. The price of the. Where did it show about? Oh, introductory price. Yeah. Right, the C16, according to that, was $99. You probably found it was £99, so that's going to get a really good score. That's going to get a 9, I think.
And that was 299.
So 170 quid. So that's going to get a.
To be 299 quid as well.
Do you think, Craig? How much was the Plus 4? Do you think that would that have been 300 quid? Surely not. I'm going to give it a 7. Expandability.
I have no idea.
No, I'm going to guess that the C16. Yeah, because they do run discs. There is disc images for both of them, so I'm going to think it's going to be your standard printer, disk drive,
same as the
joystick. So it's going to be a 7, 2 7s. Rarity. I can be honest. I haven't seen, other than when you go to computer shows. I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone with one.
I've never seen one in the flesh.
Yeah, there you go. Is that the 139? Was that how much the Yeah, the C16 was. Aye, that's pretty good. Rarity, I'm going to go for I think it's going to be 2 3s actually. And coolness. Sorry, Craig, you might want to leave the stream. Nick is saying they were priced about double and originally planned, supposed to undercut the Spectrum, but they fucked it. Yeah. They're saying price was awful as what was it? As Bill Herd stated, the +4 was supposed to be $99 and the C16 $50. It actually was $199. Holy shit. Bloody hell. So right, well that's going to take the score down. $399 for the +4. That's going to lose. That's going to be. That's almost BBC bad. That's going to be a 2. And the C16 was, how much did Dell say? It was $199. So yeah, that's going to be a 5.5.
Coolness. +4. It looks quite cool, so, but I don't know anybody who.
Apart from Craig, well, I don't know anybody that owned a +4. Don't know anybody. As Nick said, they are good computers, dreadful pricing, and that's why they only came out for about a year. Coolness. Yeah. Sorry, Craig. It's going to be a 3 for me for the C16. +4, I think. It does look nicer. It's got.
But then that's aesthetics you're going on rather than.
Oh yeah, the coolness. Yeah, if somebody says, "I've got a C16, I've got a +4." Yeah, I would agree with you, Dale. I think the +4 is a bit cooler. Well, I've given the C16 a 3, so I'm going to give the +4. So I think that's maybe computers links because it's so obscure. There's a bit of coolness about it. I'm going to give it a 7. Right, are we there? Right. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. We could probably do this part 2 next week, next Friday. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, listen, folks, we're going to call it a day. I think we've had enough stats for one night. I do appreciate I've probably pissed off a few people, but you know what? If you don't know my channel by now, then yeah, there's something wrong. You know that I make all these bold statements about being this is the best game ever, bar none. It's just my opinion. This is a bit of fun. We're basing it on what games we've played and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you know me. I don't do a lot of research. That's not what my channel's about. But I hope you enjoyed watching it, folks. I should be back on Sunday. Thanks to Neil for taking part, and you shall see both us handsome gentlemen same time next week. Till next time, folks. As always, thank you very much for watching.
Paperboy.